Hello. Audience today will be my dad Roy, my mom Susan, and my beautiful fiance Kirsten. Hi, my name is Dustin Herring, and this is my oral presentation for the class Perspective on Narrative, Humanities 1001. I'm here today to review the article Battle Royale, written by Ralph Ellison. The story is about a young black man growing up in a time of black oppression. In the passing of the young man's grandfather, he was left with the dying words, "Live with your head in the lion's mouth. I want you to overcome them with yeses, undermine them with grins, and agree them to death and destruction." The narrator is puzzled by these words, especially because the narrator felt as though he was welcomed and well received by the powerful white men in the town. The young man is invited to come and recite his graduation speech to many of the powerful white men in the town. He sees this as an honor and is excited. However, when he arrives, it is not quite the experience he was anticipating. The meeting was a series of exploits fueled with ridiculing several young black men for pure entertainment. The narrator soon finds himself in a battle royale. The young men were put against one another in a ring with bags on their heads and battled it out mano a mano. The fight was a brutal display of entertainment for the leaders of the gathering. After several displays of degrading behavior, the young men were allowed to leave. During this time, the young black men voluntarily participated in these acts. After everyone left, the narrator was asked to stay and give his speech as he was originally asked to do. After being humiliated and giving his speech, it was very well received. The narrator was awarded a scholarship and a briefcase, which he gladly accepted. After being humiliated and degraded, the narrator reflected on the last words of his grandfather, as he now understood what his grandfather had meant. I believe that the story had several areas where the narrator used symbolism to represent not only what the young man was experiencing, but to exemplify what most black people were experiencing every day. During the boxing match, the men were blindfolded so that they could not see one another, so as to stay on guard. I believe this represents the blind hatred that blacks endured at the time. Blind hatred is in how people treated them due to the color of their skin. While in the ring, they were blindfolded, swinging for no reason other than to fight. Similar to how white people would send blows of segregation without actually knowing the individual, but stereotyping the entire race of lesser because of the color of their skin. It's like how Richard Purcell in the University of Pittsburgh states, "The battle royale represents a symbolic ritual through which important social values are projected and reinforced." This supports my thought on how the blind stereotyping is just perpetuated simply because of the cultural beliefs at the time. In addition, in the end of the story, the narrator accepts the scholarship with satisfaction. Regardless how the horrific event he even endured, this is a symbolic of what African Americans had to go through during the time period. More than likely, a Caucasian man would not have to go through this. So the battle royale symbolizes his need to fight for his right of education. The young man does heed his grandfather's advice. Agree him to death and destruction. As Lucas Morel states in the acceptance of the scholarship is not only nodding to avoid confrontation, but the college itself is an oppression of black people, and it conforms their own inferiority by still following segregation. I agree with this statement. The way the narrator obtained his scholarship is symbolic of the strife and tribulations that many Americans had to overcome in order to become successful. In summation, this article uses symbolism to paint a stark portrait of reality that many African Americans faced during the time period. It is very interesting to read the literature in the past juxtaposed to today's events in the media. Hopefully history doesn't repeat itself. Thank you so much for your time.